I don't want to do something to get it refit.
Okay, thank you.
So, but yeah, I went in for an interview with this company 5 years ago. The boss goes, "No, wait a minute, I don't want to talk to you about being a
Wi-Fi.
That's
I should
what I
have.
applied for."
They're not off the top of his head or
I
not.
don't know if you're ready to.
Oh.
I don't know if I have Will's number, but there could be a password for that Wi-Fi.
So now we can watch a movie and send out for pizza, right?
There go my glasses.
Now you're going.
Yes. Well, I was gonna try to jerry rig
No,
it.
don't do that. Last time.
Yeah.
I think you should climb up the wall.
Okay.
Where's our rock climbers?
Will you please call Will back and let me speak with him?
Sure.
Already answered the phone once. Well, he may not.
How did he get it to work last time?
Look and see if they had the Wi-Fi.
Put in a different adapter than when he left. Yeah, I don't think I heard that.
Hello?
Hey, Will. This is Dave Hoffman. Good. Sorry to bother you. Hey, Gary gave me some directions to do this once, but when we tried it, it said that I needed a password for the wireless here at Town Hall. Do you know that?
I'm not doing that.
Okay. All right, we'll give that a whirl. All right. Okay. All right. Good enough. Thanks. Bye.
I saw the best sign the other day when I think it was at a restaurant or a carryout, and it said, "Be the person your dog thinks you are." I was like, "Wow, that's pretty profound."
That's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah. That is kind of deep. I thought that was too. It was a sub shop, and I was like, "Oh wow, I've never seen that," and I thought that was really kind of cool. Because you're right, I'm the first person to say, "Well, the dogs don't happy want to see me every time I come home." I look at my, you're not always as happy. I don't see your tail wagging when I come in.
I don't know why I thought it.
Be connected. So let's now try.
I've got a new colleague at work. His name is Aaron, Hoel.
How do we do?
Oh, that's not really allowed. So first initial, last name is never a good.
Enter the airplane code. OH24.
Somebody was not thinking.
Oh no, somebody wanted to make him tough.
Hot diggity.
It's like a boy named Sue.
You can't do that to your
Did
kid.
that by accident?
I had some people I went to school with, and their last name was Imhoff, and the kids were Bob and Jack.
We're on. We're
Oh yeah. They've done very well for themselves. I think Bob was the comptroller for WBAL for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Imhoff.
You don't have to go by Robert.
Well, he does. He doesn't. I know him as Bob because as a high school kid, we wouldn't let him get away with going by Robert. But yeah, I used to carpool with Bob.
Do I need to blow this up any further? Or can everybody see?
I have to go over to a seat. I am going to keep the more comfortable chair. I had down here that we didn't know whether this was still relevant.
Right. And that's what I still have. And I also have a question about the definitions.
Yeah. And I think Randall was gonna take care of finding that out for us.
I did have a note that goes way back that said Price was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe we just move on from this chapter for the time being? So here's,
I'm sorry, let me
so
just,
here's my other question. How much of this matters in terms of a comprehensive plan? How relevant is it to what are all of these definitions and descriptions to what the town's vision for its future is?
Because it talks about farmland throughout the county.
That, so in my chapter, which is probably completely unlike yours because of how I've been going through and reformatting, it's 61, but it's chapter 9.
Yeah, I'm showing on 107 in
Yeah,
the, 107 in the book. 107 to basically 114. I'm showing we marked it up a lot, but not in the beginning, because
Is
we
there
weren't sure.
some way to kind of, the Reader's Digest version of?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of stuff that's
Yeah,
that
we
I've
don't
marked
have
that the
any
relevance
more
to the town is
resources.
unclear. It's much more relevant to the county than to the town, and then a lot of stuff deleted. But I'm wondering if, given how much you have said is not relevant to the town and is more relevant to the county, that there is even more that can be deleted.
Basically, I have the sections highlighted that we don't have mineral resources, we don't have any agricultural easements. We talk about loss of the green and Little Pipe. Because we were asking about the Little Pipe Creek Rural Legacy Area, that even exists anymore.
it does exist.
Oh, yeah.
It does exist. I learned this at a planning commission meeting for the county just this very week.
Okay, so we're gonna continue to support that.
We are in such support, you just don't know.
Keep that whole paragraph.
These more or less definitions of what a stream is and stream buffers and all that.
So there are a few options. One is to put this all in a glossary at the end, and the other is to take it out. But I would argue that unless you use these terms within the chapter, that they're irrelevant.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and our goal is to preserve and make a wise use of our environmental resources. That seems to be the goal of this chapter.
Yeah.
Just say that
Well, you see the very first paragraph, the current edition talks about this sensitive areas element that New Windsor signed up for, along with 7 other municipalities, and they adopted this thing. And I'm assuming that thing, sensitive areas element, is still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of that Pipe Creek that you were.
Yes, so.
It's all related,
we need
yeah.
to- We need to be sensitive to the fact that we
That
did
we need to be
something,
sensitive.
yes, years ago, and that is still relevant today, so we just can't wipe it out.
No, you don't want to erase it all, especially because what you don't want is a bean counter in Annapolis saying Where is their sensitive area language? Because you'd have to actually read it to find it if it doesn't say sensitive.
Should we change it to say that
I
as our goal,
Well, it's not just the sensitive areas, but,
or should we somehow tie it and sensitive areas into that goal title to direct them and make it easy for it to be assessed?
that's kind of that's what I lean to, is pointing, look, this is where you want to look. It's hard, I have a little trouble reading that cockamamie from here, but I don't know that we need all of those definitions. I think we could say or for that matter, you could almost say, as provided for in state law. And that way, if the state changes what it perceives to be sensitive, they're gonna make us do it anyway. But we don't have to go back and worry about modifying things because definitions have changed.
So I'm gonna mark all of this to be deleted, and it's gonna be done in track changes, so you can undo it if need be. But I think that's a very elegant way to solve.
So much stuff that really is not irrelevant. It's just not part of what is functional for us,
To quote John Adams in 1776, too many words.
He was no slouch in the words department as a general rule.
Will we change on this next paragraph? Like, you could kind of leave the same and say that Carroll County currently provides a great deal of protection due to the 1992 Planning Act? That's perfect, yeah. And then you could probably get rid of all the clauses.
Come right out. It's redundant. Look at it go.
That A, you think about keeping that in that, or just remove that last sentence?
See, I don't like any of that.
Okay, what don't you like?
Well, what makes me a little itchy is some of those chapters apply within this jurisdiction. Others do not.
Okay.
Depending on, and like, there are things that deal at the county level that deal with development issues that are not in the Code of Public Local Laws. They are in the ordinances. You could argue that they have an impact on environmental resources because they're densities and things like that. I just think that's kind of an oddly constructed paragraph.
And I agree, simply from a reason, again, of looking at the remit of this commission.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this document. Why are we just showing how many laws that we can
Well, and
cite.
I'm thinking being so specific in chapters can only get us in trouble.
Well, because I think a couple of them have already changed,
Yeah, it can't be correct.
you know,
So
they
we-
recodify
but we can
things.
still- We can still say that it's based on the Code of Public Local Laws and Ordinances of Carroll County.
There
and
are
stop it
many,
there.
blah, blah, blah.
And stop it there, it just says, yeah. Several different ordinances and authorities through the Code of Public Laws and Ordinances.
Well, and the ordinances, because some of the ordinances are applicable in the towns. They are not adopted by the towns, they are applicable in the towns. And that may be the kind of thing nobody cares about but me.
I'm trying to come up with a way to say this. Many public local laws and ordinances of Carroll County apply to address.
After authorities, just say within public local laws and ordinances.
Yeah. Contained in.
Actually, it's already,
It's there already.
yeah, I don't need to restate it.
Well, looking at this one map, and there is an environmental protection area in the growth boundary area.
Right here.
Yes, map 7. It's more or less that meadow down there
Okay.
behind the old bus shed, we call it the tool station.
Is that called map 7?
Ugh.
Oh, no, just put it
You've got that meadow, but
in. It was just.
I mean, it's
It's identified as like an
Yeah.
environmentally sensitive area or,
something that the county, in their survey.
I don't know, they've got so many.
Now, remind me, is this going to be printed hard copy or only available online?
Well, definitely, it's gonna be hard copy.
There's gotta be some paper, because I can't look at it online, it's impossible.
No, well, I was wondering because I could go through and like add hyperlinks to all of these different references.
I suppose that's not my call, but there will definitely have to have paper copies,
Okay,
because,
but
you know,
that
some of we
wouldn't-
dinosaurs still like paper copies.
That wouldn't be relevant in paper copy though, so,
Yeah, but,
Come on.
but if you had that in, it wouldn't hurt,
okay.
yeah.
Why isn't it linking?
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Raining, come on.
Well, what I can do is do hyperlinks and then also add footnotes so that people can type it in if they want.
If they have an urge.
Or we could go really 21st century and have barcodes everywhere that you just.
Stupid little things that
QR code.
scan my television set.
QR codes, that's right.
I can't stand it.
They're busy.
It's an appliance file, wherever Railway Drive is.
Okay, so mineral resources, the land use article. And should that be land use article or the land use article?
I'm not seeing it when we just mass minerals. I'm looking. Oh, they're at the very beginning of the
Yeah.
paragraph. I'm sorry, I was dropped down a paragraph already. Yeah, that should be the. That should be the. There's an awful lot of the mineral resources overlay in the entire county is right here. That side of town. That's where almost all the overlay district is. I actually worked on that. That's how long I've been here. And so I think if, honestly, if you're gonna, you wanna leave some of that in just because it's so proximate to the town. And and it is so vast that I think it probably is a good idea just to say, oh, by the way, we looked at this and it's good. Then the morning and the evening were the third day. But I don't think you need a whole lot more than, I mean, I don't know how much you need about how much rock we have under our backyards.
How about that last paragraph in the, under 2? It says the town of New Windsor does not have mineral resource operations within corporate limits, or does it?
Well, it's true. Within the limits.
Well, it's still within New Windsor though.
Well, I think if you have them, the state law requires that you have a plan for them.
Right. I guess we have
As I recall it.
If we don't allow them, we don't need.
So, yeah, I think that's why that's there. Because we don't have a whole lot of agriculture either in the town, unless you count people's backyard tomato plants.
Yeah.
I spent all last week, speaking of dairy, talking about how to test milk for H5N1.
How lucky for you. I'm sure that was thrilling.
It's fascinating, actually.
If it would be, I'm sure it was. My grandmother would have said, that's what makes horse races.
No, we didn't. We were questioning all the numbers.
Yeah, I don't like numbers in here at all. And the ag preservation numbers are all wrong.
Yeah, they can't be right.
And I don't know if some of the programs in ag pres that we have now were even, well, Rural Legacy is. Maryland, we have our own. The Land Trust, okay, I see them. But there's a couple. That, yeah, I think you might want to put in the overall number. You know, the county reports that there's 80,311 or whatever it is, acres thus far preserved.
Peas, I don't think have been grown since Shriver's closed up. They used to grow.
Yeah. I see soybean and corn. I've never seen peas.
No peas. I actually.
Oh, yeah, there used to,
Oh my.
we used to, after they got done, you could go to the fields and,
Glean.
oh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
used to do that a lot.
At the Christmas party several years ago, they had, like, they got somebody had the labels and put them on, you know, like Campbell soup cans, and put the flowers in them. I have one still that I got.
Windsor peas? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Shriver Can Company did all kinds of vegetables originally.
What's that? That's hominy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I
And
love
Shriver's cannery was going.
You know, you can get pudding at Kenny's if you want to go. Pudding are two different things, but they got to cook them together.
That's
Drew's favorite meal. Spam and
Apple
ham.
fan?
Not really.
Oh, well, that's why.
A big scrapple guy is.
Lucy Scrapple.
I like that.
I love hominy.
Wait, I thought hominy was like,
Homony's a kind of corn.
yeah,
Puffy corn.
You get it that way. It's the way it's prepared.
Okay.
They're like prepared actually in like lye, which makes them puff and get that white that they get.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause I thought hominy was what they made grits from. I
It
didn't
is.
think it was anything related to scrapple, which is like
No, but
awful.
if you're gonna go whole Pennsylvania Dutch, you can get the pudding, which is like soggy scrapple, and which I know you're vegan, so that's probably right out. But you can cook that with the hominy and like a stick of butter, and it's so good. And you just, when you're finished, you have to go lay down for a week.
Those vines, you used to let them lay, Now,
So-
they used to start to rise.
That's not-
Oh, people have to wind their windows up when we get past that.
Life in the country.
My first retirement thing is I'm gonna go through in November and go through and find those pieces where they said they're gonna update numbers. Go up there and see if I can get somebody to help with this. But obviously we don't have Randolph, and Abigail is gone. What a place still works up there.
Those figures.
Not doing the same thing, no.
He works for CLSI.
Didn't Price go to CLSI? Yeah,
The acreage, all that, because it's up close to 80.
it's over 80.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's not far over, but it is over 80. Huh? Well, I mean, you could say, Carroll, at this, at execution of this agreement, Carroll County reports that there are 80,000 and change, whatever their number is that they're officially reporting. And you just leave all that out as to what the half a dozen programs and,
That there are over 80,000
yeah.
acres.
No, I'm actually just going to Google it right now.
I don't know that you'll be able to find that, the hard number, because we just were talking about it at the planning commission last week.
Okay,
So I'm just trying to save you a little time.
okay.
JP said 80,311.
Yeah, I said, I probably could get his number, but.
No, I have his number. And it's 80,311. No, we were talking about, he did a presentation to the planning commission, so that's why it stuck in my head. Not this commission, different commission.
Gold, what, 100?
It is. But they're getting more and more expensive.
Yeah.
So that's probably many millions to get to 100.
Is it worth my looking to see if I can find an updated agricultural census? And then do this calculation as well?
How pertinent is that to our?
I wouldn't.
Okay,
By the time this gets printed, respectively.
It's gonna be different anyway, yeah, there's a new
Okay.
cycle, and then there's new farms come in and blah.
okay. So do we want to even keep this paragraph then? And actually, let me change the view to make this easier for y'all to follow. There. So this is the paragraph in question as to whether we should even keep it in, if I'm not gonna bother getting updated numbers.
Figures are probably so outdated.
Right,
Well, they are, but the real question is it worth trying to get updated figures that say, in Carroll County, which we aren't, there's a lot of money in the farm world. I don't even know who compiled these numbers all those years ago. Unless you were to take, like, the first, make us, like, I'm looking at the next paragraph.
yeah, well, they've got,
Yeah, because it's,
because it does come down to the CPA,
mm-hmm.
so if we know,
But where, it starts, the worth is not the financial worth is not the only public benefit from the ag industry. So maybe a simple sentence like, well, it is difficult to assess the worth of agricultural products in a specific area,
and then they go ahead.
though it is certainly significant.
Yeah.
However, the worth of agricultural products does not reflect, et cetera. How about something like that? I don't know, and probably somebody in the county could say what the percentage of revenue in the county that comes directly from agriculture as opposed to indirectly from agriculture. And do we care? Is it that important to this plan?
If I could spell agriculture.
It's very long.
Oh, and actually, we can just pull the other paragraph in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, make it just like 3 sentences or 2.
Yeah.
Can we keep the 87.5% of the cost sharing expenses?
I don't know.
Or just say,
A significant percentage.
there you go.
Oh, yeah, because those grant programs change all the time.
And if you wonder now, we've got a lot of this agritourism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
Yeah, it's crazy. You go out 140 past Borger's Orchard on a weekend between now and when they close in November, and there's like lining up on 140.
And you know, that is really just the most brilliant thing in the world. I am doing their labor for them by picking the apples and paying for the
I'm
privilege.
paying for the privilege of doing it. It's kind of like self-checkout at the grocery store.
As a kid, my mom took us to the neighbors to do strawberries.
Hard
And
work.
didn't have an idea what they were getting, and we picked so many. They were in the car pulling out coins so they could pay for everything, and then they stopped at a stand on the way home and basically sold it for whatever the guy would, so they could be gaining money. Because they figured the husbands were gonna, our dads were gonna be rather upset that they spent like $60 on
A
strawberries.
lot of strawberries unless you make a lot of jelly.
And we did make a lot of jelly, that's a year. Still my favorite, homemade jam.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was Souls used to do that
Mhm.
back in the
Way back.
70s.
Yeah.
And Bloggers was back in Howard County back then as well.
Yeah. I think they may still have a store down there.
I remember the stand on Old Miller by the dump. They had a stand off of 108. Landfill, yes. We called it a dump.
We called it a dump.
It's now got houses on it,
Yeah, huh?
which is kind of scary.
Okay, we're back to rock.
What is storativity?
I can't read it. It's got white in front of it. I think transmissivity is how the water passes through it.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, storativity may be that the water doesn't pass through and stays in one place.
Does that come up in spell check?
Maybe we
Yeah,
just,
well,
maybe
no,
we
it's
just
got
take
the
out
red
that sentence,
underline.
because do we care about what carbonate rock is characterized by? I mean, you might want to say the region may be prone to sinkholes, because it is. I don't know, I don't do science.
Yeah, well, storativity is coming up as, on spell check, as a word that does not exist.
I like storativity. We were ahead of our time.
We were. Maybe I'll just use that at home. Nope, don't buy anything else. We have no more storativity.
Storativity indicates the amount of fluid that will be released from the porous medium when there is a unit drop in reservoir pressure. So it apparently is a word.
It's just not a word that the modern computer knows.
Had to get the special geological version of the computer.
Well, you can leave it in if we want to look high tone, you know.
Yeah. Well, why don't we say the,
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what to change that for.
the carbonate rock is an excellent source of water,
There you go.
but also prone
an aquifer is the same as storativity.
Yeah, I would say yes, I would get rid of the high solubility. It's good stuff.
Are
It's
the,
good rock.
are the rocks soluble? I mean, I guess over time, rock could be soluble.
That's the reason these cause sinkholes, is because it doesn't take time.
Or all your caves.
Not my caves. Ooh.
I think this sentence is pretty much the same as what follows. It produces high yield aquifers. It's an excellent source of water. It's environmentally sensitive. It's prone to the rapid contamination of groundwater by pollutants. They're the same sentence.
Sounds like the same sentence to me. Boy, I feel like I'm back in fourth grade learning how to diagram.
Okay. So now we get to recommended actions.
We want to continue to support.
So now the next one is something that was required by October 1st, 2009. Did you guys do this?
The county's had a water resources element forever.
Okay.
Well, not forever, but since at least then.
So this, if this
I think ours
has,
may just actually kind of refer to theirs, but I don't remember where we left it. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Just say the town adopted.
We may not have adopted it.
Previously?
We may not have adopted the element. I think what we have done is we have made ourselves subject to the statutory requirements that were the enabling mechanisms to the water resources element. I apologize for that sentence.
That was a good sentence.
I just don't know where it stands. All I know is that it does exist at the county level, and the county has legislation that is applicable here. So how do we put that down?
So could you say the county and its towns are have partnered
There you go.
with the state in a water resource element? The town adopted the WRE, leave a date out, and recognizes the other aspects of the plan.
I mean, it's all done. It's been done.
Yeah, and this is prospective, so I'm wondering if it's even necessary to be in this.
Well, I think
Recommended
isn't
actions.
that kind of what we have to have in here?
Yeah.
Is a water resources element, which I think we do, or at least we did. I would have to go back. I just don't remember exactly how that all played out. But it was a long time ago. I know the county adopted it. I know they've got, their buffers, and actually, Glenn, you may have run into some of those regulatory structures because you got to be 100 feet from everything, except the things you have to be 200 feet from. I don't have my code. I don't bother to bring it. But I'm pretty sure the Water Resources Management Ordinance is one of the ones that is applicable in the town. We may have to just find out the technical position of where we landed on this one. My reaction to design guidelines. We've struggled with those.
I thought you were reacting to the HB 1141 above.
It's all the same.
Okay.
Is that something like future, applying for future grants or anything?
Well, that's you gotta have something in it. Well, we do have design guidelines now in our code. Part of the growl, candidly, was a response to years of dealing with planners who I love, but they have a different worldview.
That's something separate from, we have a section there for subdivisions. Is that separate?
I don't know. We have design guidelines in our code.
Does this remain relevant if there is no more planned development?
Well, I think you need to have it because you don't know what's gonna, well, you know, you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Area boundary where there could always be
Yeah.
development down the road. So you're gonna have to include something.
But we have drafted and adopted design guidelines.
Can't we just say that we are going to continue to enforce?
To enforce and, you
Design
know.
guidelines adopted by the town?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're there, so we don't have to say anything more than that about them.
In 2010, the county and its 8 municipalities, and they're all listed, including us, adopted the plan element.
The water resources element. Yeah. That was 14 years ago, but-
Using the Water Resources Coordination Council.
which still exists. And if you wanted to, you know, like pat ourselves on the back, we could say the town continues to participate with the Water Resource, whatever that was, council, in assuring that we're good.
The Water Resources Coordination Council.
Coordination, and assuring, you know,
The WRCC.
cooperation, that's a good word. I was having trouble finding one. Yeah.
Okay. Economic development and activity.
That was one where we looked at that goal and laughed and thought, well, we should just make it increase the commercial and industrial tax base, but no.
I have where we said increase the commercial and industrial tax base by utilizing and enhancing all available areas. That's what we wrote. I think you came up,
That's what we wrote.
yeah,
Yes.
I think you came up with that, Ken.
I didn't write it down, jeez.
By utilizing and enhance, I am missing it too.
All available areas.
Okay. This is actually a really good
I
chapter.
was gonna say, I really don't have anything to cross out.
Yeah, that was all.
I had written there, that was staying.
Here we did some modifications to the businesses because Universal Forest Products is gone.
Well, it's changed its name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's still. Earthwood is gone, but it's. Well,
Isn't there something still there, though? There's another
yeah,
business in there.
They do, engine modifications.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember that,
similar-
what, IAG? What's that?
no,
IAG?
IAG's different.
Because there is a Earth's, I thought there's something in
There's
Earth.
something with a name very
Yeah,
much like
they-
that.
It's something to do with they modifying high-performance engines or similar to that outfit that moved out to McGregor with McGregor Training.
Yeah.
Used to be, I can't think what it's called.
I had a note on here that Kalina was going to help me update this.
You can cross that note out. I'm not gonna help you now.
Oh, it is, Kim.
The TVA. To be advised.
She'll get to it.
Yeah, I think Universal's now New Windsor Partnership, I think is what it's called. Or New Windsor Products.
Okay.
That's what they changed the name to.
What elegant earthworks.
And then you have Huber is over there now.
Hoover, yeah, Hoover's.
We did the sign, they're still doing it.
We did there, Hoover,
Turbo XS
What's the,
Auto Parts Store.
Retail?
Turbo XS.
That's gone.
Mid-Atlantic's there now, right?
Are they in the town still, or are they outside?
HOOBER.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Turbo XS. The page isn't loading. One of those, here's a day gone tomorrow.
Yeah, Huber's starting to pick up a lot more inventory than they've had in the past.
Where are they gonna put it?
A whole lot. I was like, either business is gonna be really, really good, or got the freight issue in Baltimore caused them to have to bring in a lot of stuff from a lot of different places.
Well,
And they're hanging on.
if all the ports close down, better go get your bread and toilet paper right now.
But that's where that equipment comes.
Where it comes from, yeah.
So how are we defining industrial? Because I think of Hoover as like retail because they sell stuff rather than making it.
But they sell industrial.
They sell
service-
industrial products. I think that's the mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's a good question,
I
though.
wouldn't consider a company that is, I wouldn't consider a car dealership retail, but I guess it kind of is. I wouldn't look at it that way. And that's kind of what Uber is, they're a distributorship for those lines that.
Or enormously expensive
Make their money
things.
in sale, going out doing repairs.
Oh,
Because they've got like 3 or more cars parked concealed on the road.
Yeah, I don't think you could just drive one of those things in if you were having a problem.
well, it's coming up, Umpqua Indian Development Corporation, which I don't think it is.
Umpqua?
Umpqua.
That's a great word. Yeah.
So I don't know what.
Isn't that where Huber went? Into that
Okay.
building? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they were the gloves, weren't they?
Yeah. At one point, I think there were a bunch of different things. So is Mid-Atlantic in the town or in the growth area or outside? Does the town go that far down? I just don't know.
I thought they were like listed in that employment campus area or.
Well, they might very well be. I know the employment campus goes out that way. I just don't know how far.
It says New Windsor Community Planning Area.
It's in the. Looks like it's within the growth area boundary.
Yeah, that's what I think. So this says that Babylon's the only one, and I don't think that's true anymore.
Where Hoover's, when FMC built, they made pineapple pickers.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah,
seeing.
used to see them
food
sitting out there.
machinery or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
yeah.
They made pineapple harvesters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I forgot about that, actually, right, yeah.
As you know, of all places, you think it'd be closer to
Yeah,
the west coast or.
I mean, yeah, well, why, yeah, it's not like we
It was
sell
one
out
of the-
pineapples
One of the
everywhere.
things they made was,
That's bizarre.
I worked with a couple of guys at Lehigh mechanics that used to work there. Used to- We made pineapple harvesters. Maybe the other stuff, but that was one of the.
And is it Mid-Atlantic or is there a full name to?
There's a, I don't know its full name.
Mid-Atlantic Utilities, yeah.
What are the two commercial uses? Are they still there? What were they?
I think it's just Mid-Atlantic now.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of parts place or something.
It used to
Did
be,
Marty owned that property for a while or had something in
it
there?
was Ferguson and Plumbing and Heating, and now Mid-Atlantic owns all of it.
Whole
And then
thing,
Barnes Towing was on the other end.
Yeah, it was
And
Barnes
then-
Towing for a little bit. He
That's
rented.
probably the two commercial uses that they were talking about.
And I don't know, guess we was listed as solar.
Why don't we just take out the
Yeah, do we
sentences?
need all
It's
of that
irrelevant
detail?
to industry.
Now, the intersection of Maryland 31 and Springdale Avenue.
Yeah, that's
That's
where,
The Brethren Center is not anymore. Now it's the school.
That's true. It's a
Yeah.
school.
The Brethren Center is on the other side of 31 before you
If they're Brethren
hit
Distribution
that.
Center, yes.
V in the road.
31 Church and Church Street.
Church, yeah.
Bless you.
Now, there's a construction there behind where Coles live.
Yeah, it used to be,
Coming off of the old road.
it used to be New Windsor Excavating, now it's Four Seasons Excavating.
Okay. See, I guess. is
Up
that-
of New Windsor Road, off Old New Windsor
Yeah,
Road.
the old, the back part.
In that building back there,
Mhm.
behind the house there.
Yeah, when leaves are all
Down in the bottom, you can barely see it from the road, it goes down in. I know that because we use them for foundations.
Yeah, it's, Cole,
Dennis Cole.
Dennis Cole, yeah.
Okay, so the question is, given the frequency with which these organizations seem to pass hands and change names,
We want it.
do we want to detail them or simply detail where the zoning is?
I kind of like the names to see how things have progressed and
Would be something in there put in to see map so-and-so, or?
We don't have one on the map.
No, we don't have them on the map.
No, no.
It is kind of historically interesting to, say, oh, no, they're the ones that made the pineapple pickers.
yeah.
But it's not my call.
Which obviously is different than the cherry picker. I think leave it in.
Okay. So Four Seasons Excavating, where is this located?
Marshall,
Uh,
wherever the employment
It's in the
campus.
growth boundary area, it's, access is off of,
The old New Windsor
oh,
Road.
yeah, the old New Windsor
Pike.
Pike.
On this chart though.
And it's, I was looking at the parcel, it's.
There it is. Down.
I guess it would be adjacent to Mid-Atlantic's.
Okay,
Down a little bit further. Down a little further. There it is. Was New Windsor Excavating, now Four Seasons.
okay. So it's not described in the chapter though, although everything else is.
It was Four Seasons Excavating, right?
It's the same,
It's
Same
not the
company.
commercial landscaping operation.
Excavating back in there.
Yeah.
I think originally that's what.
I think they were in a partnership before and they bought the guy out and changed.
Exactly.
I think that's what
I
happened.
always think back up to be a business ownership
Oh, yes.
change. Ownership change.
Yeah.
The one we-
You scratch that.
Negative like
Source, Carroll County Department of Planning.
What did your guy tell you? You're good, but you gotta go.
That's right.
And do we need to say that all of these are located in Carroll County? Oh, I guess we do,
You're not
if
bad.
some of them are outside the town. Why don't we say outside town limits instead of located in Carroll County? Because that's kind of given.
Of course, we're all located in Carroll County.
Service center's not outside town limits.
It's right past, right next to Sam Huff's.
No, it's the things with an asterisk are,
The line is next to Sam Huff. Because the Coles tried to come in, and then they had trouble coming in, was when Jay was the mayor, so I barely remember it. But I think they finally got in, but it was kind of along a real skin, I think they were along the road, and that's how they got in.
Is the old fire station, isn't that still a, like,
it
fabricator?
is not there, so.
The old fire station next door?
No, the old one.
Oh, the way old one,
Down by the
no.
train station, or by the train tracks. I thought that was still, I thought I've seen an extra.
Oh, it's
Was that a fire
Fabricator.
station?
Yeah,
yeah, they moved up to Union Bridge.
but I thought I thought that somebody was still using that for something.
I don't know. But that company moved up to Union
They
Bridge.
were, and then they disappeared almost as soon as they came in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're the old cooling station.
Wasn't that Condon's old place?
North American cooling station.
Wasn't that,
Cool milk.
Drew?
That's,
Drew.
After Hoover.
Wasn't that Condon's old place
what's that?
where the fabricating place was?
No, that was, well, it was Western Maryland Dairy where they killed, cooled milk. And then Wilbur Blackston had it as a
what they
bus
got
shed
up there
for
with them.
years. And then he
I'm
sold it to,
confused.
Just Hoover,
he sold it to
that,
Bennett.
or Space
Oh, okay.
International.
Where did Condon,
Kind of like a John Deere.
I think he sold it, or, I think he did sell, I don't think he rented it. And then I guess Bennett sold it to, no, he rented it, because Ronnie, I think he sold it to, can't think of his name, from Stream. But I think when Kevin had, I think he just rented from
the woodworking? Bennett. Kevin. Yeah, he was pretty good. He was good at woodworking.
He did my kids.
Did he? Yeah.
One of his last ones.
Yeah.
table, camp table, conference table.
Oh, wow.
Is there anything down there now?
Something else is in there.
It's a,
I see different stuff down there, but
it's
they got
a
rid of the
floor,
snowplow guy.
some kind of floor, well, I can't think of the level. I don't know what they do, like commercial floors, or like, if you wanna get your garage floor and finish, they put on, I think it's something like that, I think. I've seen the trucks there, I can't remember, cause I'm gonna look it up, I love something.
We have a collective road works.
You know, several of those are not there anymore.
Marcy, he's retired.
Yeah. Put that down a lot.
Richard Myers there.
DB Smeltzer is gone.
Yeah.
The Atlee House B&B is gone. I mean, the Windsor Inn has a new name.
J.C. Printing's gone.
Police is the best.
Yeah, Best is Belize, man.
Hunchars is gone.
The Windsor Inn,
Frankie's.
Frankie's and.
Frankie's, just Frankie's.
Just Frankie's.
I mean, that's it, Frankie's Bar and Grill.
New Windsor Carryout, I guess, is what, the barbecue.
Yeah,
Oh, Lone Star.
Lone Star Barbecue.
Got Rab's Liquors, I don't know.
I guess, is that considered New Windsor? Does he call it New Windsor Liquors, or just Rab's?
Yeah. New Windsor Liquors.
Let's go, they're gone, New Windsor Automotive. Karen, I don't think.
Gone.
Holly Hill Daycare, she's gone.
Are there still law offices over there?
Yeah, Jay's still there.
Really, still got a shingle?
L1 is where we're sitting.
Yep, they're gone. They were here.
Two guys, what was that? What was that?
That was 3 short of 5 guys.
So,
No, but that,
Nova's been going. Wasn't that Dave DeRee's operation?
Yeah,
And that's no longer New Windsor, it's Atlantic.
yeah, AC&B.
yeah. Cotton still? I think he took his son's time, didn't he? Up there.
You know, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's gone, yeah.
I think you're right.
AC&B. She's still there.
Yeah, but is it New Windsor Dentistry or is it just Upper?
Some smiles.
Look out the door.
Family dentistry, something like that. God knows I pass it enough and park there all the time. You'd think I would know what it is.
AC, change it.
Uh-oh, Kevin's gonna go find out.
Nah, it's too dark, my eyes aren't that good.
I just remember seeing the whole "you won't suffer with Upper."
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip,
You don't, they'll just keep shooting you up.
That's the worst part.
So you go for the gas.
Philip Puffer.
So the bank is change the M to the N.
Yeah, you see, N, it's a knucklehead.
Adams County National Bank.
Is it Atlantic City or Atlantic County?
I think so too, yeah. One or the other.
Another small bank that had to be bought out by another small bank.
Beatrice owns everything. What is the parcel with a commercial zoning designation
The Windsor Planning
outside the town limits? How can that even be?
That would be
The thing on,
the Hibbert parcel.
75?
Yeah.
The thing I can figure would be,
But I don't think that technically has a commercial zoning designation on it because the county zoning is still applicable on that property because it's never been annexed in.
I had written that it's the 10-acre Hibbert part,
Yeah.
and I also general commercial district.
General commercial, we created it, not neighborhood business. We created it for them when they were all hot and bothered to come into town. And then they cooled down and calmed down and they're still not in the town.
yeah. That,
Where the,
that's where the Cooling's, the
snowplow
extreme.
guys used to be.
They were
There is some sort of
Oh, those pictures I've made, but, because he still owns the Will Fry's is the one at extreme, because it's Carl, because he comes down to help. He said there were a bunch of young guys that didn't have the business sense. So evidently, I was going to be paying rent. I am being trying to explain.
I like that, no business sense, they didn't understand it,
But I think Will still
paid.
owns the property.
Good idea, they could do well, but nobody can manage the business. Unfortunately, there's more people like that than.
Lots of people can figure the revenue, but it's the harder part is figuring the outgo
Well, and collecting.
and collecting it, yeah.
There across the street, there was Bailey's used to be, is that just, or is that just a private car storage?
It's private, yes.
So it's universal.
Yeah, this next part I thought had to do with census data. So I don't know what we want to do with it.
I got some census
I have a note here that said that the county was to prepare something.
We got Price's name there again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Put it in your list, Mark.
Yeah. Yep, he jumped on, I remember him jumping on, oh, I got that.
Oh, I'll take care of that, no, sure. Best intentions.
And then this again would need the county to get the data.
Yeah, county getting stuff for the next, a lot of the next stuff.
Yeah.
You can say, these, a couple, I mean,
It's all tables.
paragraphs.
Actually, the next 3 pages are all tables.
Yeah. So we can go to recommended actions.
Well, before we go too far, number 5, industrial and commercial tax base. I had a note written there. What if we were to use town data, not the county data?
Yeah, I had a,
So
town.
I guess we were kicking that around the first time. through instead of having all this county number stuff in there.
You ready to get Dana to let us know?
Well, I don't know, I mean, I guess,
I had Dana verify.
oh, okay. I guess that was the thought process at the time.
That's the note I made.
Makes sense.
Assuming that she even has that data.
Yeah, right.
I don't know I don't know how that trickles down.
Yeah, I don't know if she could hit something, or get something from the county or not.
Yeah, I mean, residential, it's essentially the majority of revenue for the town.
I'm amused by the commute times and congestion, given the way everything has changed since 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Rereading that whole paragraph there, isn't that really then the same information? Yeah. Because the table, is that table not just you in there?
That's the way I read it.
Right. So we will use what we want then.
Yeah, I didn't read it as countywide, I read it as,
Well, it's kind of a lead-in paragraph, talks about the county,
Mhm.
but the rest of it is all the Windsor stuff. So that doesn't need to say residential development contributes the largest amount to the county's revenue. We're talking about New Windsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should say towns, and then that table then goes along with the town's revenue.
Mhm.
And apparently the county has that, what they're pushing down to the town. So Mark, that looks like another chart that maybe the county has data on.
They consider the new ones are environs, the election district? Growth area boundary area, or?
So, with regard to this revenue, though, does it go to the town or does it go to the county or the state, or why do we care about the assessable tax base?
Oh, we're certainly not getting $14 million.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I did. And that was, 18 years ago.
Yes.
Master charts.
Maybe that's what we were talking about, that if that's showing that what the county's pulling in, 14 million.
Mhm.
And maybe we were thinking about, well, who cares about that? We're not seeing that. What's the $100,000 they're giving us? Maybe that's what we were thinking about.
Well, it does show a shift of the tax base
Yeah.
to the residential. That's what somebody was trying to show. I'm not sure what value there is to have every year in here, like every 10 years. There's markers. But it looks to me like this, that somebody just pulled that out of the chart. Oh, I see. Well, I'm gonna show this to Gary. He might know.
So the town gets some small portion of that.
Whatever the money is, yeah, wherever it comes in.
Right.
There's no mention of, how that is calculated. It's just talking about however they're assessing dollars. I mean, it gone from 7% down to 5.4 for the industrial commercial.
Yeah, so this probably shouldn't be town's revenues since the money,
Agriculture's twice as much as industrial commercial.
Yeah, I see the residential.
It says agriculture is more than double the industrial commercial dollars. Really?
Was triple.
Yeah, do you think so?
We need it, we ought to figure out what the hell it is.
Back then, I wouldn't doubt it. Now it might have changed with the development they've done out around the airport.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I would think commercial's more.
We don't have that many commercial operations. We have a lot more farms. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look out at Tawnytown, they've got quite a few manufacturing facilities in Tawnytown.
Big ones.
Yeah. Real good size, actually. But I don't know, were they there when when the initial report was done? I don't know. I don't know how long they've been out there.
Oh, this goes from 97 to 2006, yeah.
So,
They were there longer than that, I would think.
okay.
we need cookies. No, I find that when you get to like the hour and a half point in doing something that's brain intensive, it really helps to have a cookie.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Well, I think it just always helps.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
and especially when you're talking about percentages of numbers that are really unclear as to what percentage of those numbers you're talking about.
Yeah,
Because it actually, it jumps out pretty clearly what they are, but why have them?
Why are they there is a
Yeah,
better
yeah,
question.
Is this pertinent to the?
I think,
Well, it's showing a shift from, because when you get down here to the sentence, there's not a whole lot of change in the acreage, but there is a more significant increase in residential dollars, and I'm sure that has to be the valuations of the residences.
yeah.
And the industrial and the agriculture have increased, but not at the same rate that the residential has.
I almost want to take all of this and put it in Chat GPT and have it summarize and pull out the relevant stuff. Something along the lines of there's been a significant shift towards residential development despite the original 1997 plan's goal to increase the commercial and industrial tax base.
Take 97 and 2006 and forget everything in between. That tells you
Yeah.
what you need to know.
Yeah,
The change.
yeah,
And it even mentions that down here under there, that the amount of land assessed.
yeah.
is
So
6.9% to 5.4.
I am going to assign myself the task of summarizing this and just pulling out the relevant nuggets. And I promise not to use Chat GPT.
I'm gonna see what I can
Evolve
find
into a
about
business
getting more relevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Current, the truth.
Yeah.
Because if we've got 2,000 here,
Mhm.
we get 2010, 2020,
Okay,
that gives us some markers that probably gonna show the same thing.
yeah,
You can't get more than 100%.
Oh, I don't know, there's a chart that has this at 100.2.
Yeah.
I saw that, I thought that was pretty good.
okay.
Made my notes, and only Ann's gonna do something. What was this? Oh, yeah, managerial and professional occupations grew by 237%. You were gonna check that. Yeah. Because that was back in the days, we thought, oh, we'll be able to get census information.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's readily available. Yeah.
I mean, Wikipedia supposedly has data on the town, including like the average salary and stuff, but I don't know, there are no,
Yeah, where do they get their?
yeah, and
Well, because it's Wikipedia, we make it.
there are no citations for any of it, so I refuse to believe it. So the recommended actions, to me, still read relevant.
Yeah, I had okay for the first three, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had check marks and okay on all of them.
and then on 4, I have just keeping the first and the last sentence.
That's about right, yep. Yeah, the town should be very adamant and steadfast, and then we cross stuff out and put and outline requirements that are architecturally consistent with the historic atmosphere.
okay.
Yep.
And I had 6 as no.
Okay.
I think we wanted to just add Gilman in to the verbiage in number 5. We just need to get Gilman in there. To show us an example of a building that could be, repurposed into businesses in the historic district.
Okay.
So maybe before the last sentence, where we-
Yeah.
as well as improving the aesthetics of the streetscape, the Gilman Inn would be a prime example of this type of a project.
I need to make sure that's not gonna help us with grants and stuff.
Good call.
Okay, why did you not?
Should we call it the Gilman Inn property and not just the Gilman Inn?
Yeah. Do we want to put historic or something in there as well?
That'd be a good idea.
But maybe the historic Gilman Inn and property.
Right.
Yeah, there you go, and property. I need more information about our distillery. I was looking forward to being a sample. I was gonna apply for the job. Taster. Hey, I work for Tastes. Only one day a week, but.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get greedy.
No. I bet the town would volunteer for that job. We have a lot of people willing to help.
And then I have a lot of, that would be grow, not go.
Oh, there's our DRRA.
That was like 10 years ago.
Are other municipalities just now working on,
Hampstead has the ordinance and has adopted, or has actually created one, but that's all. Tawnytown, I think, has done it once or twice. I don't know about Westminster. I know the county is looking into creating an ordinance. It's been forwarded to the commissioners by the planning commission. Frederick has one. Some places use it more than others. Some places don't use it at all. A couple of places that had the enabling legislation have actually repealed it. So everything is it's very site specific and local politics specific. So let's see, what do we say?
Do we need the statutory language, or do we just want to say that the legislation exists and it allows the town to enter into these agreements?
I think that's adequate. Yep, that all sounds fine to me.
commercial. It happens somewhere.
So we had talked about just writing that to show that addressing it just could be an opportunity. So having it in there and having these kind of words, just, there is an opportunity to do those kind of things instead of mandating or, you know, saying can't, you just leave it there.
Yeah, I remember,
We should allow it.
I so remember the debate about this one.
And the debate about this one's been going on for years.
So there's an opportunity.
It is an opportunity economy.
You could do like the little kiosks that they have at Camden Yards where they don't even need to be manned. You just scan your credit card, pick stuff off the shelves, and then scan back out.
Oh, brave new world.
It's really quite unnerving the few times I've gone through.
Yeah, I don't like all this self stuff.
I think landscaping, we're gonna leave that, I think.
Yeah.
I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 we left alone for fiscal year. I had 6, 8, and 9 long.
Yeah, I have the deletions too. And then I have, for alternative means, an undetermined cost rather than no fiscal impact.
Yeah, because they have some funky numbers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
That was pretty much,
yeah,
Yeah, 2 chapters.
2 chapters with 4 minutes to spare.
Well, okay, we can chip away at the next one.
We have 3 more things on the agenda.
This agenda.
All right.
Well said, Counselor, well said.
I thought when I sent the agenda, I might be able to get a hint. Because it's getting kind of busy around the holidays, but they have, historically have a town breakfast. And it's, apparently they haven't talked about it yet, so couldn't give that to you, so maybe at next meeting I can shake that loose. Next meeting is the 28th of October. So that'll work for the most part. We touched on it earlier about Thanksgiving and Christmas, both of the Christmas, we'll definitely scratch that one because we're talking about meeting the
We're going to
following.
get to the 30th.
Yep, we're gonna push it out to the 30th.
Oh, yes.
Does anybody have a thought about the Thanksgiving week? We can talk about it next month, but, you know, all right. Any what other, oh, there's a thing called Music on the Main, I think, coming up.
There is.
Yes, indeed,
Not this Saturday.
but next.
October 5th, new time this year, 12 to 6 instead of 1 to 7. So we're going 12 to 6. We'll be up quite early. Got a lot of work to do prior.
I have to go to a concert the night before.
Okay, well,
Who are you going to see?
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Rolls.
I kind of figured you as Frankie Valli or
And
somebody.
I just said, good heavens.
Down there, it's really Eric Church.
As long as you don't have to look at it.
Jelly Roll.
I should have.
Actually, I saw him.
He's really good.
I've never heard of Jelly Rolls, so I feel really horrible. What kind of music is
You are
it?
way out of touch.
Literally twice my size.
But what kind of music is it? Is it bluegrass? Is it blues?
Country. Rap, he is popular. He's the first person ever.
Fusion artist.
He's the first.
That's why I asked. I will look him up.
Yep.
I will look him up.
He'll be in Ocean City next
First ever
weekend.
doing the pop,
Tattoos.
rap, and country.
Oh.
One song.
Oh, wow.
He's got some really good stuff. That's pretty tough one.
The name sounds familiar, but I couldn't call out a song.
Fascinating. I'd never
Yeah.
heard of him until they profiled him on NPR recently.
So the official census number is.
There was a big bluegrass festival this weekend in Annapolis, at Sandy Point State Park.
There's one in Ocean City.
Oh, that's the OAR one that they started. Ocean's Calling.
Twice there.
OAR.
Can I get a motion?
They're from Frederick.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Kevin, second by Dave. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I like them all.
Got
No
it.
opposed. We're out of here.
One of these days, somebody's gonna oppose just for the heck of it.
100,000 people.
They were down at, my brother-in-law lives down in Delaware.
Okay.
Bayside, and they have their own theater. Freeman Stage.
Yes, I've heard a lot of great
Seats
things
like
about that.
10,000 people. It's incredible. And, we saw OAR and,
Yeah, I have an old grade school buddy that has a food truck there.
yeah, they go down there a lot.